It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is our mission to try to bring you some news you could use. Today will be no exception to that rule. You can follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. You can follow me on YouTube at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Subscribe today. Click the bell notification to keep up with all the latest releases. You can also listen to our 24-hour stream available on the website at obnradio.com. And just in case you have one of those smart devices, all you have to do is say, hey, play the latest episode of the Mike Prince Show. And just like that, you'll have everything that you need. And with all that being established, let us jump right into today's episode. Don't forget to mark your calendar for September 1st, the start of our popcorn fundraiser to help us carry out our broadcast assignments for the 2023 football campaign here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We also have an announcement. August the 10th, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Mr. Anton Goff will have a press conference and a Q&A session to address his arrival coming to Prairie View A&M University. And we are planned and scheduled to be there to give our assessment of the Q&A session from the newly hired Anton Goff for Prairie View A&M University. Truly buzz time, buzz atmosphere, and everything getting ready. We got the kickoff for the Labor Day Classic countdown. We have the arrival of the new athletic director. And we have another situation that is growing up. We talked about this a little while ago, but it's really coming to fruition now with the latest rumblings and adjustments from the college realignment. And that is the future of money games. With all these power conferences being developed right now, what will happen to the money games that have been customarily somewhat of a lifeline for your lower tier programs and the FCS more considerably for funding of athletics? It simply means now that we're going to step outside of the box, open up the creative juices and get them to flowing on how you can compensate for those beat-em-up games that we've customarily had. You show up and hopefully no major injuries, and you walk away with anywhere between $350,000, $500,000 in some cases. Now you're going to have to be creative. We already know that people have been somewhat reluctant of continuing going down the classic pathway, but at this particular time, it seems like that is probably the most assuring fundraising until we can find a way to get our fan base to show up at our regularly scheduled home games. Now, it's not just a problem on the Hill at Prairie View. It is a consistent problem throughout college football. I won't just limit it to HBCU, but college football as a whole. Yes, when you look on the big circuit of things, the stadiums are standing room only. But the lower tiers, there are attendance challenges all the way around. And the ironic twist of all of this is that the students are already being charged for these tickets, but they're not showing up. How do we get through this? How do we re-engage the students to come out to the game? How do we re-engage the community to come out to the games? Well, those are going to be some of the challenges that Anton Goff is going to have to address. And I'm speaking, of course, on the Prairie View spectrum of things. But across the board, that is what these athletic directors are going to have to figure out. What can we do to try to create that electricity to make you want to be in attendance? Now, a few episodes back, I had somewhat tongue-in-cheek and said, hey, how about providing lotto tickets and then have a drawing? And I originally said at the end of the second quarter and then at the post game. That way you can kind of keep people in the seats, hopefully that they have a winning ticket. But when you break this thing down a little bit, it sounded kind of crazy and out of the sky pie type mentality, but there could be something working here. And here's what I'm saying. Have a drawing at the end of each quarter. Just like you had that TV timeout break, while you have that going, you could have the fans in attendance get, a lotto ticket for the winning of some lotto tickets. I don't know what the legal realms, but the lawyers figure all that part out. Give them some scratch-offs or some random pick lotto numbers. Who knows how this thing could go? But any little twist that's going to help bring people inside the stadiums and staying. Most of the time after halftime, when the bands have done their thing, people go on about their way and gone back to the rest of the games or to the rest of their activities. Another thing that might help in the case of Prairie View, now I'm keeping it home at Prairie View, the time of the game. I know customarily we have home kickoffs between 1 and 3 o'clock in some cases. But what if we took an evening approach for our home games? A 6 o'clock kickoff, a 7 o'clock kickoff. That way your people can have time to run around and do whatever they have to do throughout the course of the day. They can come and enjoy a good home football game, create an atmosphere that will make the people want to come and stay during the course of a football game. Then, of course, the product that's being presented will help make a difference as well. But for the most part, I believe the product is not the problem. The problem is finding creative ways and time slots that will match the fan base available. We've customarily tried that, I'm going to say that 1 to 3 o'clock kickoff window. Let's see if we can push the time back and see what happens. Now, we know customarily homecoming is going to be an early kickoff, but your other games, let's see what can happen if we just had all PM kickoffs and give you time to build the momentum up, build the energy up, possibly encourage more tailgating and a party-like atmosphere. We were talking about in reference of creating a homecoming-like festivity, and maybe you would have the day to build up that atmosphere and that electricity for the kickoff at a 6 or 7 o'clock. Something that maybe need to be considered in the case of Prairie View. Something is going to have to be figured out to replace these, what we now know as money games, because as these conferences get more expanded, deeper and deeper, they're going to have to play 12 games. And right now it looks like they're going to have to go to a 10-game schedule, which is going to give you more than likely 2 games. And then if you have a rival outside of your conference realignment, that's going to possibly narrow it down to only 1 game. And so we are going to have to figure out a new mode of bringing in this money, and the money is there. It's just up to us to try to figure it out. Now, do you try to reestablish some new beginnings with some Group 5 programs like the UTSAs and, dare I say, Rice and other regional Texas-based schools if you're Prairie View? We'll see what happens in the future. And once again, those can be some questions that we could help in the direction of now Athletic Director Anton Goff at Prairie View. If you guys that listen to this show on a regular basis have some questions that you would like for us to try to get in during this Q&A session for the press conference with the new Athletic Director, please feel free to either send your questions by way of the comments on YouTube. You can DM me, I guess they still call it DM on X, at the Mike Prince Show, or you can send your questions by way of our email. And if you're wanting to know how to do that, just go to the website at obnradio.com. We have a contact us session, and that way you can just kind of plug in your Q&As there, and we'll get them, and hopefully we'll have not too many that we can't get enough of them asked, but we'll try to take, and if you got some guys asking the similar questions, then we'll just kind of rally it all together and ask those questions. But be sure to go to that website, obnradio.com, and submit your questions. I am going to exit stage left for right now. Our time is far spent, but we do appreciate you guys to the utmost. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Hit that bell notification, and that way you'll be keeping in tune with everything that's being released. And don't forget, for exclusive off-the-grid content, you got to check out this 24-hour stream on the website at obnradio.com. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, thanking you guys for joining in with us. I've got to go. So until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.